Hare Krishna, a very warm welcome to all the devotees to our program on Srimad Bhagavatam study. In this program, we are studying Srimad Bhagavatam and now we are studying chapter number 19. Today will be the final class on chapter number 19 where we will discuss verses from verse number 21 to 40. Overall, this is our 50th class and the title of the class is Appearance of Shukdev Goswami. So before we begin our program, let us do some Mangalacharan. Rakesh ji, can you advise who is the Mangalacharan
Me,
candidate? Yourself?
myself, yes.
Okay. Chale Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
जी चलिए, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। एक बार फिर से अगला जो श्रीमद् भागवत का है वो भी प्रेयर्स पढ़ लीजिए।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much. Now let us go to the next section of our class, which is the recap of the previous class. For this, I would like to invite Ishwar Prabhu ji. Ishwar Prabhu, are you there?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Shall I start, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Good evening, Prabhuji and other fellow devotees. It's again my pleasure, and I'm really happy about the whole thing. The work that has been allotted to me for this evening, that is to recap class held on Sunday last. It was 49th class from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, and chapter 19 from verse 1 to 20. This class essentially deals with events taking shape in the aftermath of King Parikshit faulting an esteemed Brahmana and getting cursed in return. As we all know, Maharaja Parikshit was an ideal king, also a Mahabhagavata and an all-time favorite, very, very blessed devotee of the Lord. His unsavory and impulsive egoistic stance of faulting a faultless and powerful Brahmana thus couldn't be construed as an ordinary human aberration. In all probability, it was a celestially ordained and well-orchestrated move to introduce an exceptionally valuable scripture that is Srimad Bhagavatam, to help his devotee uh, Parikshit Maharaj, and through him also a help to humanity who is about to be exposed to the calamitous punching and purgings of oncoming Kali Yuga. So this actually marked a beginning of, or an introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam to humanity. Of course, coinciding with the cursing and the aftermath of King Parikshit. Now, this credible and candid impression formed gets fortified as we scan through the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam chapter 9. Now, let's go into the details of these verses. And for purposes of description and understanding, it has been divided into two themes. Theme number one, which covers verse 1 to 7. It talks about King Parikshit regretting, accepting the curse, and renouncing worldly attachments. Now, as a part of this, verse 1 and 2, while the king goes home, he reflects back, he gets back his composure and perspective, and sees his mistake. And once he is able to make out what has really gone wrong, he now expects and desires a calamity to counterbalance the improper act he has done. This is about verse 1 and 2. Now, moving to verse 3, where we see that the repentance and regretting continues. The king, now feeling inadequate in the Brahmanical culture, God consciousness, and cow protection. And he's almost angry with himself in frustration and desires that his wealth, strength, kingdom all be burnt immediately by the fire of Brahmana's wrath. He wanted to be free from such inauspicious attitudes in future also. Now, such like things, like inviting the calamity for himself and leaving everything, the sudden detachment from the world, they are only features of an elevated soul. An ordinary person would not think of these things. So that confirms how elevated King Parikshit was. Now, moving to verse 4, the king sees the event as a blessing in disguise. He accepted the news of curse and imminent death as a godsend opportunity, being an exalted devotee. In verse 5, we find how much convinced Parikshit was about all this. He was convinced fully to go ahead with Lord's desire. He fixes himself in Krishna consciousness deeply, moves to Mother Ganges for offering transcendental loving service to Krishna, which is considered the best practice for going back to Godhead. In verse 6, there is a mention of the glories of river Ganges. We know that its water is most auspicious due to mixing with dust of Lord's feet and tulsi leaves. It's very powerful and sanctifies the three worlds. Besides, it also sanctifies Lord Shiva and other demigods. Moving to verse 7, we find that the king takes a decision to fast until death. He called a day for all worldly attachments and associations, set and gave himself completely unto the lotus feet of the Lord in preparation for going back to his original home, with the place where Lord Krishna resides. Now, in the next verse, that is in verse 8 to verse 24, the theme changes. And now this includes that the king now submits himself to assembled sages. Now, taking the verses one by one, in verse 8, 9, and 10, it is about the great sages and thinkers arriving to witness this rare celestial event on the river Ganges. Certainly, with so many saints converging to Ganges, it's going to be a kind of pilgrimage and act of sanctifying the place too. Because it is believed that whenever there is a gathering of saints, the Lord automatically reaches there. This assembly included some very big names like sages Narada, Vyasadeva, his son Sukadeva Goswami, Parasrama, and all other many big saints. Moving to verse 11a, where the holy gathering also describes about including in the name of many demigods, kings, and Arunadayas, that is Raj Rishis. In verse 11b and 12, it is mentioned that the king received all the guests with humility, paid them due respect and obeisances, and then told them about his resolve to fast until death. In verse 13, the king feels very happy and fortunate to have such exalted assembly collected there. He acknowledged gratefulness to all the great souls collected there. In verse 14, the king appreciates Lord's grace in helping him getting detached through his plan, which is a direct action reserved only for special devotees like King Parikshit. The presence of great sages was proof enough of Lord's great presence there. In verse 15, the king exhorts the assembly to accept the fact of his complete surrender. Let Mother Ganges also be a witness to the event, and urged all collected there to continue singing the deeds of Lord Vishnu's meanwhile. Verse 16 talks about the ideal aspirations of King Parikshit. The king prays that given a chance of rebirth in material world, he would strive for complete attachment to the unlimited Lord. He will associate with Lord's devotees and forge friendly relations with all living beings. Moving to verse 17 and 18, where Parikshit was duly praised by all the demigods of higher planets for his actions, and flowers continually were showered on him with celestial drums beating, ringing continuously. Moving to the final two verses, 19 and 20, where the king gets approval and appreciation by sages. The assembled sages echoed approval, saying, "Very good," which is nothing short of Lord's approval as well. They highlighted the moment, saying, knowing the saintly lineage of Pandu dynasty, it is not at all bewildering to see Parikshit giving up the throne decorated with helmets of many kings to achieve eternal association with the personality of Godhead. And finally, I wrap up the summary highlighting a few important points regarding the essential characteristics of a pure devotee like Parikshit. A pure devotee believes that God is infallible. He does no wrong. Number two, pure devotee is not afraid of death or adversities. He rather sees this as an opportunity in every adversity. Number three, a pure devotee is never envious. He feels rather happy over others' progress in bhakti. With this, I conclude this summary, and thankful again to Prabhuji and other fellow devotees for their patient hearing. Thank you very much. I am grateful.
Thank you, Ishwar Prabhuji. Thank you very much. This was very nicely captured summary. Uh, each and every point you have uh, drafted with a lot of care, and there was a lot of effort and I would say meticulousness that you have shown to draft all the points. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah. So now we move to the subject matter of the class today. And as Prabhu has already summarized that Parikshit Maharaj was quite disturbed by the event that happened with the Shamika Rishi, and in return he got a curse through his son Shringi, and he's lamenting in his kingdom, actually desiring for some punishment so that he may not commit that again. Uh, and while in preparation of that punishment, when he comes to know that he has been cursed to death for after 7 days he will meet his death, he goes and sat on the banks of the Ganges, where all the famous sages from all over the universe have assembled now. So Parikshit Maharaj is very much delighted to receive these sages, and he glorifies the sages. He also makes a shares the desire what he wants in the future in case he has to take a rebirth. And then the event continues. The sages support the decision of Parikshit Maharaj. He is going to sit on the bank of Ganges and fast until death. This decision is supported by the sages. And now the story continues further from verse number 21. So, in verse number 21, we will start reading this section and would like to request if devotees can volunteer to read. Uh,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Vrindavaneshwari Mataji can read, and then anyone else.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Then
I will
Rakesh ji is also ready to read. Okay. So Vrinda Mataji, please read.
Yeah. Can you give me just half a second? I'm putting my earphones.
Okay. No worries.
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Well, okay. They're not getting connected. I don't know. So I'll just,
Okay, we can start with then Rakesh ji. You can read the next.
no. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah. Decision of stages. We shall all wait here until the foremost devotee of the Lord, Maharaj Parikshit, returns to the supreme planet, which is completely free from all mundane contaminations and all kinds of lamentations.
Yeah. So the sages have been glorified by Parikshit Maharaj. They have supported Parikshit Maharaj's decision of fasting unto death, and hear the glories of the Lord till that point. Now the sages are showing another approval that uh, they are they are ready to wait until Parikshit Maharaj returns back to the supreme planet. And this is something which Prabhupada mentions in the purport as uh, Prabhupada is explaining and elaborating upon what is meant by returning to the supreme planet. And he's kind of giving the basics also. The basics are that we see this material world in which we see some sky, we see all kind of natural beauty around us. But Prabhupada mentions that beyond this material sky, then there is also another spiritual sky. And in that spiritual sky, there are number of spiritual planets, Vaikuntha planets, and these planets have different name: Purushottam Lok, Achyut Lok, Trivikram Lok, Rishikesh Lok, Keshav Lok, Aniruddha Lok, and so on and so forth. He keeps on mentioning various names of various Vaikuntha planets. And among those Vaikuntha planets, there is another topmost planet, and that planet is known as Golok Vrindavan. So this is how he starts elaborating in his purport about uh, a spiritual world beyond this material world. So Parikshit Maharaj is sitting there on the bank of Ganges in order to go back to the material, to go back to the spiritual world, and that is what the sages uh, are going to witness. They have this desire that we will wait until Parikshit Maharaj returns back to that supreme planet, which is completely free from all mundane contamination and all kind of lamentation. So devotee going to a spiritual sky. Now many times we hear when a pure devotee leaves the body, and there's a discussion about how do you feel when the devotee has left the body and so on. Recently we have in our own organization His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj leaving his body recently, uh, only a week ago. So you will always hear when you sit in the glorification of such devotees that people would say that we are feeling uh, joy as well as we are feeling sorrow. We are feeling joy because the devotee has now returned back to the spiritual world. He is now together with other pure devotees, together with Lord Krishna, and so on. That is a matter of joy. And then, but they also say that we are also feeling sorrow. So, why are we feeling sorrow? We are feeling sorrow because we are separated from that devotee. Separated from that devotee means that devotee is no longer in front of our vision. He has disappeared from our vision. So that separation, that disappearance of that devotee from our vision is the cause of separation, is cause of sorrow. So our Gurudev was explaining about Gopal Krishna Maharaj's departure, and he was saying that once I am getting cold tears, and then next moment I am getting warm tears. So we get cold tears. When do we get cold tears? We get cold tears uh, when we are not very happy, and we get warm tears when we are very happy. So that's how he was explaining this whole episode. So Prabhupada also writes that uh, pure devotees are of the Lord are also not so many. They are also very rare. Like having darshan of Supreme Lord is very, very rare. Only very fortunate people can have that darshan of the Lord. Similarly, darshan of a pure devotees are also very rare. So, Parikshit Maharaj's departure is a not a very routine affair in this material world. So, the sages want to witness that uh, witness that historic moment when Parikshit Maharaj would depart, and that is what is being captured here in this verse. So that sages decide that we will wait until he returns. So that's the main theme of this verse. Okay, Mataji, please go ahead with the 22nd.
Yes, yes. All that was spoken by the great sages was very sweet to you, full of meaning and appropriately presented as perfectly true. So after hearing them, Maharaj Parikshit, desiring to hear of the activities of Lord Sri Krishna, congratulated the great sages.
Yeah, so uh, here you can see there has been certain adjectives described regarding the speech of the sages. So before this episode, when Parikshit Maharaj is uh, in the previous class, when sages were speaking about Parikshit Maharaj, sages were saying different things, that your decision is correct, you are coming from the lineage which is very great, you are coming from the lineage of Pandavas, uh, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Arjun, etc. So it is not very surprising that you are trying to decide uh, to finally meditate upon the Lord before leaving this body. So all those words were spoken by the sages. So here uh, this is being mentioned that the words that were spoken by sages, the qualities of the words that were spoken by sages are mentioned here. So there are several qualities being mentioned. All that was spoken by great sages was very sweet to hear. So one quality is sweetness. Then the another part is full of meaning. Full of meaning means it was not something which was simply spoken out of uh, some custom, or maybe some just to please the king or so on. No, they were well thought of words, they were spoken which were full of meaning. And then uh, they were appropriately presented as perfectly true. So these are some of the qualities of the speech of the sages that is being mentioned. They were very sweet. They were very sweet because they were praising Parikshit Maharaj as best of the devotees. They were very meaningful because they were saying that Parikshit Maharaj is actually going to go to the spiritual abode, to the dham of Lord Sri Krishna. And then they were very true uh, because uh, Parikshit Maharaj is actually going to achieve that, uh, uh, going to the spiritual world, to the abode of Lord Krishna. So these are some of the qualities of the speeches of the sages that is being mentioned in this particular verse, verse number 22. Now Parikshit Maharaj will start to congratulate the great sages. He will welcome them with some sweet words. So let us see what he says. 23rd. Yeah.
Parikshit praises the king. The king said, O great soldier, you have all very kindly assembled here, having come from all parts of the universe. You are all as good as supreme knowledge personified, who resides in the planet above the three worlds, Satyaloka. Consequently, you are naturally inclined to be good to others, and but for this, you have no interest either in this life or in the next.
Yeah. Now Parikshit Maharaj is revealing some other characteristics of these sages. So he's saying, first of all, you have all very kindly assembled here, having come from all parts of the universe. So pay attention to the words here. He's not saying that you are coming from all parts of the earth. No, he's saying from all parts of the universe. So they were coming from the various parts of the Brahmanda. Maybe somebody coming from some loka, somebody coming from some another loka, and so on. So then he goes on, continue to give more characteristics of these sages. You are all as good as the supreme knowledge personified, who resides in the planet above the three worlds. Now he becomes a little more specific from where actually these sages are coming from, and he gives this name, planet above the three worlds. Prabhupada explains in the purport that the whole creation can be, the material creation can be divided into three parts: the upper planetary system, the middle planetary system, and the lower planetary system. So Earth planet would come in the middle planetary system. So these sages actually are coming from the upper planetary system, which is known as one of the planet is Satyalok. Satyalok is a planet where Lord Brahma resides. So these sages were residing in the Satyalok, and they are coming from that Satyalok to witness this great event that is going to happen after 7 days. So here then he says, you are also all as good as supreme knowledge personified. Supreme knowledge personified. What does it mean? So all these sages were very well versed in all the Vedic knowledge. They are well versed not only in the spiritual knowledge, they are also well versed in the material knowledge. So they are well versed in both type of knowledge. So uh, they understand the gravity of what is material knowledge. They understand the gravity of what is actually spiritual knowledge. So they were very very knowledgeable, and Parikshit Maharaj says that you are supreme knowledge personified. So they are all like full of knowledge. And then the question might be arised that why would these sages from such upper planetary system would bother to come to the planet Earth? For what purpose they would like to come? So here Parikshit Maharaj is saying that you are naturally inclined to do good to others, eh, and you have no interest either in this life or in the next life. So the idea is that these sages have only one motive in their mind, which is to do good to others. So they only come here to liberate other living entities, to make them motivated to go back to Godhead, and so on. So that is the only purpose that these people actually come here in this material world. So this is verse number 23. Hmm? Okay, Mataji, let us go to the verse number 24. So this is the verse number 24 is we are also discussing the Sanskrit verse here. So the places where an important verse is there or an important message is there, uh, we are also putting up the Sanskrit verse so that we can recite that verse. So before we recite that verse, first of all, we should know which meter is this. So can the
I'm sure
devotees?
this is Vishnu.
This is Trishtup. You are sure?
Yes.
Okay. So Rakesh ji, do you agree with Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, Trishtup.
12,
Okay. Hmm.
11,
But it will be
11 है
spoken.
प्रभु जी.
It is
11,
11 or 12?
11,
1 minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Cha is also half. Correct. Yes, 11 Mataji. Okay. So what will be the melody?
Dosho Svabhava
Hmm. Okay.
Tahascha. Up, please.
Okay.
I'll
Tatascha
repeat after.
vaprachayamimam viprache
Tahascha Vaprachamimam Triprache
vishrabhya vipra iti krityatayam
Vishrabhya Vipraiti Pratyayaya
sarvatmanamriyamaणैश्च कृत्यम्
सर्वात्मनामैमानश्च कृत्यम्
शुद्धं च तत्र मृषशा मत्र शुद्धं च तत्र मृषताभियुक्ताः.
शुद्धं च तत्रामृताभियुक्तः
शुद्धं च तत्र मृषताभियुक्ताः.
शुद्धं च तत्रामृताभियुक्तः.
Yes. So now it's a very important verse. Why it is important verse? Because Parikshit Maharaj is going to ask the the very important two questions, which actually is the basis of all Srimad Bhagavatam. The all of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is like Canto 2 to Canto 12. All these rest of the Canto 2 to 12 are actually answers to these two questions of Parikshit Maharaj. So we need to know what are these two questions. So please read the translation. Let us. Yeah.
O trustworthy Brahmanas, I now ask you about my immediate duty. Please, after proper deliberations, tell me of the unalloyed duty of everyone in all circumstances, and especially of those who are just about to die.
Hmm. So he's asking, "O trustworthy Brahmanas, Vishrabhya Vipra." Vishrabhya Vipra, it is actually trustworthy Brahmanas. So, "O trustworthy Brahmanas, tatascha vah prachayam imam viprache." Uh, So, prachayam is actually, I am asking you what is worthy of asking. So, I'm asking you one very important question. Tatascha vah prachayam imam viprache. And what is that? Please, after proper deliberation. So he is asking a question, actually giving a lot of importance to his question. He is saying that I am asking these questions to you, and kindly answer this to me after real proper deliberation. Real proper deliberation means after consulting each other, after fully confident about what you are going to say. Don't change your answer after you give your answer. So after proper deliberation. So Shuddham cha tatra mrisha. Shuddham cha tatra amrisha abhiyuktaha. So amrishat actually means after proper deliberation, after doing proper consultation with each other, and then abhiyukta. Abhiyukta means what is proper, please tell me. And what are these questions? The questions are iti krityatayam. Iti krityatayam. Krityatayam means uh, among various duties, among various duties, uh, what is the main duty of people? And then he's asking sarvatmana. Sarvatmana means everyone. And then in this particular, mriyamanaish. Mriyamanais means is specifically for that person who is about to die. So he's asking two questions mainly here, and you can see how he frames up this whole thing. He's saying that please answer after proper deliberation and tell me what is the immediate duty of a person in general, first of all, and then in particular of a person who is about to die. So that is what he's asking. Unalloyed duty of all, sarvatmana, unalloyed duty of all under all circumstances. And then second is specifically of that person who is about to die. So these are the two questions he is asking. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions that there are many uh, processes of self realization. There could be a process of self realization, process 1, process 2, process 3. There are different processes of self realization. One process could be better than the other process. So Parikshit Maharaj question is, kindly tell me the best process. Don't tell me multiple things, because I will get confused. So don't confuse me. I'm asking you, and after proper deliberation, please only give me one answer. uh, what is the duty of all, everyone, under all circumstances? And the second one is, in particular, when a person is about to die, what he should be doing or she should be doing. So that is the main question he's asking. So the idea is the two questions are how to live and how to leave. So one live is live. Live means we should spend our life, how should we lead our life in general, and how to leave means how we should depart from this world, how should we die. So these are the two main questions that Parikshit Maharaj is asking. Actually, Parikshit Maharaj is a pure devotee of the Lord, so he already knows the answer to these questions. However, he asks these questions mainly to seek confirmation from the sages, mainly to seek confirmation from the sages that there should not be any doubt what the answer to this. So you should deliberate among yourself, you should consult, and only after good consultation you should respond to me. So that is 24th. 25th, Mataji. Yeah.
Sukadeva Goswami arrives. At that moment, there appeared the powerful son of Vyasadeva, who travelled over the earth disinterested and satisfied with himself. He did not manifest any symptoms of belonging to any social order or status of life. He was surrounded with women and children, and he dressed as if others had neglected him.
Hmm. Hmm. So now you can see that all of a sudden Shukdev Goswami arrives. So this actually is quite a little surprising. So the sages arriving uh, in the assembly there when Parikshit Maharaj was going to fast until death, and Parikshit Maharaj has asked these questions to the sages, and all of a sudden Shukdev Goswami also arrives. So what Prabhupada explained this whole event in the purport is that after Parikshit Maharaj had asked these two questions, there started a discussion in the assembly. There were confusion among the sages. They were of not a single opinion. Some sage was saying that this process should be taken for Parikshit Maharaj in order to achieve the highest. Some another sage was referring to some another process. some another sage was referring to another process. So there was kind of a debate or a discussion that started in the assembly. Now, in this circumstance, uh, Shukdev Goswami is arriving. So it is quite, uh, in one sense, also giving a hint that this whole thing actually is orchestrated by the Supreme Lord. It seems like a divine plan that how things are unfolding, because Srimad Bhagavatam is about to arrive in this world. So the events are unfolding in a way which doesn't seem like happening by chance, but actually are happening by the supreme will of the Lord. So in this moment, at this moment when there is a little confusion, little debate, discussion in the assembly of the sages about the process what Parikshit Maharaj should take, a person that comes in the assembly is that person who actually has the answer, a very clear cut answer to these questions. So Shukdev Goswami is now arriving in the scene. Prabhupada actually also gives a very interesting analogy in the purport while explaining that there could be multiple point of views among the munis, among the sages. He gives the analogy of doctors. He's saying that when something has to be treated, and the people consult multiple doctors, then these doctors can have multiple opinions. Some doctor might say that this is the therapy you should take. Some another doctor might say this therapy you should take. So there could be some multiple uh, opinions of the doctor. So similarly, in the assembly of the sages, there were multiple opinions. But then came uh, the most advanced doctor, I would say, or the most advanced sage, or rishi or muni, who actually had a proper clear cut answer to all these questions. So like this, Shukdev Goswami appears at his own sweet accord to the assembly, and it is mentioned that he was surrounded with women and children, as he and he dressed as if others had neglected him. So here, uh, Shukdev Goswami was not dressed. He was dressed in four directions. Like what you mean? What it means? Like he was not wearing any clothes. So uh, so like that, he was surrounded by some attention from children and women who thought that he probably was like a madman or something like that. Maybe he was not a very important man. So they were out of curiosity. They were kind of uh, running or maybe walking together with him, with Parikshit Maharaj. So like that, it was the situation was at this point of time. Okay, let us now go to the next one, 26th. Yeah.
This son of Vyasadeva was only son, bodily features of Shukra Goswami. This son of Vyasadeva was only 16 years old. His legs, hands, thighs, arms, shoulders, forehead, and other parts of his body were all delicately formed. His eyes were beautifully white, and his nose and ears were highly raised. He had a very attractive face, and his neck was well formed and beautiful, like a concept.
Hmm. So you see here, 26th verse and 27th verse also, you will notice one thing, and Prabhupada has also noted this in his purport, that whenever there is a description given of somebody who is very respectful, then the way the description should be given should start from his feet. So like this, the description of Shukdev Goswami also starts from its feet. So the description starts from the feet and gradually moves up and then finally culminates into the description of the lotus face. Similarly, this description also is given here in this verse. The son of Vyasdev was only 16 years old. His legs, like that. So it starts from his legs, thighs, arms, shoulders, forehead, and other parts of the body were all delicately formed. So you can see the kind of sequencing of the description. So the description is starting from uh, the 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 feet and then moving upwards. His eyes were beautifully wide, and his nose and ears were highly raised. He had a very attractive face, and his neck was well formed and beautiful like a conch shell. So this also kind of hints that why probably some of the ladies were uh, uh, together with Shukdev Goswami. It is mentioned that he had a very attractive face, so he was very attractive looking personality, and he was very pure. So just because he was naked, the ladies or the women did not feel like feel like threatened in his presence, because of his very of his purity and his very attractive face. The children and the women were following him. So this is what uh, little bit mentioned here. And then uh, it is mentioned that he was only 16 years old. So he was 16 years old does not mean that he was not knowledgeable. He was very, very experienced. He was very, very knowledgeable. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport that a person is not respected because of its age, but because of his knowledge. So that is why Shukdev Goswami was very, very respectable. And as you will see later on, that when Shukdev Goswami arrives in the assembly, all the sages and saints actually rise up from their seat to welcome Shukdev Goswami, to honor Shukdev Goswami. Okay, Mataji,
mm,
please continue reading the
mm,
uh, 27th one. Yeah.
mm. His collarbone was fleshy, his chest broad and thick, his navel deep, and his abdomen beautifully striped. His arms were long, and curly hair was strewn all over his beautiful face. He was naked, and the hue of his body reflected that of Lord Krishna.
Yeah. So some more details are given in this verse of the bodily features of Shukdev Goswami. But an important bodily feature that has been mentioned here is that the hue of this body, the color of his body, reflected that of Lord Krishna. Same color as that of Lord Krishna. Okay. So let us move to the 28th one. Yeah.
Honorable reception. He was blackish and very beautiful due to his youth. Because of the glamour of his body and his attractive smiles, he was pleasing to women. Though he tried to cover his natural glories, the great sages present there were all expert in the art of physiognomy, and
Hmm.
so they honored him by rising from their seats.
Hmm. So as you can see, the reason was given that why he was pleasing to women, because of his attractive smile, glamour of his body, like that. And the other important point is mentioned here is that all the sages honored him by rising from his seat, from their seats. And how they could recognize that somebody, a very respectable, a very honorable person, has arrived in the assembly? It is mentioned in the art of physiognomy. So physiognomy is something where from the bodily features, from the bodily features, uh, if there are some specific features in the body, which if you know the art of physiognomy and you can study those features, you will know that somebody, a great person, is actually coming. So Shukdev Goswami's body had all many of those features, many of those symptoms or symbols, which represented that these are not ordinary. He is not an ordinary person. He's a very special person. He's a very elevated person. He's a Mahatma. He's a Mahapurush, and all these symptoms are of that of Mahapurush. So reading those symptoms of a Mahapurush, all the sages in the assembly there, they honored him by rising from their seats. So like that, they welcomed Shukdev Goswami. And you can see in the picture here, uh, Parikshit Maharaj is paying obeisances to Shukdev Goswami, and you can see Narad Muni is there with a veena, and next to Narad Muni you will see Vyasdev is also standing there. So uh, Shukdev Goswami actually has now arrived to the assembly, where his own father is also there, and his father's spiritual master is also there. And uh, besides the fact that his father and Narad Muni both are incarnations of the Lord, Narad Muni is, sorry, Vyasdev is the literary incarnation of the Lord. Like that. So, such elevated personalities also uh, uh, left their seat, or rise from their seat to honor Shukdev Goswami. So, somebody special has arrived in the assembly. Let us move to the 29th one then.
Hmm. Maharaj Parikshit, who is also known as Vishnu Raj, one who's always protected by Vishnu, bowed his head to receive the chief guest, Shukadev Goswami. At that time, all the ignorant women and boys ceased following Srila Sukadeva.
Hmm.
Receiving respects from all, Shukadev Goswami took his exalted seat.
Yeah. So Maharaj Parikshit, who is also known as Vishnu Rat. Vishnu Rat means one who is always protected by Vishnu. So uh, Parikshit Maharaj, on receiving Shukdev Goswami, now pays his respects. So Parikshit Maharaj bowed his head. Now you can see in the picture here, he's already, you can see in the picture how Parikshit Maharaj is paying Dandavat pranams to Shukdev Goswami. So uh, to receive the chief guest, at that time, all the ignorant women and boys ceased following Sri Shukdev. So what happened was, Shukdev Goswami was walking, and there were women and children who were following Shukdev Goswami because of various reasons. And as soon as they saw that Shukdev Goswami has reached an assembly where there are very elevated souls, like many sages and saints from all over the universe are present, and they are paying respects to Shukdev Goswami, the women and children kind of understood that something real, very important going on. And it is not a matter of some simple curiosity, or some kind of entertainment and so on. And recognizing the seriousness of the situation, that this is a assembly where some serious matter has to be discussed, or has to be followed, and to be discussed, debated, they left the scene. So like that, it is mentioned. And then uh, uh, Parikshit Maharaj welcomed Shukdev Goswami, and then uh, uh, Shukdev Goswami was offered a seat. Shukdev Goswami took his exalted seat. Next one, Mataji. Yeah.
Shukadev Goswami was then surrounded by saintly sages and demigods, just as the moon is surrounded by stars, planets, and other heavenly bodies. His presence was gorgeous, and he was respected by all.
Hmm. So as I was mentioning that there were many elevated personalities in that assembly: Vyasdev, Narad Muni, Parshuram, and the who's who of the saintly world was all present there. And a very poetic description of Shukdev Goswami, who was surrounded by saintly sages, is given. It is mentioned that it was something similar as moon is surrounded by stars, planets, and other heavenly bodies. So in the sky, when we see there is a moon, it is very prominent. Nobody looks at the stars. People only look at the moon. So Shukdev Goswami was like a moon in that assembly, and all other sages were kind of compared to the stars. So the idea is that although there were very elevated sages, but this was some sage who was really special. He was sage among the sages. He was kind of there. So there are many batsmen, but there are only one or two batsmen who kind of are very topmost, like Don Bradman, or maybe Sachin Tendulkar, Sunil Gavaskar, or like that. So he was kind of saint among the saints. So like that, he was very much respected by everyone. Okay. Now we go to the 31st verse, and we give now a chance to Rakesh Prabhu to read the text. Rakesh ji.
Yes.
Thank you,
Parikshit
Vrindavan ji.
ready to inquire. The
Yeah, Prabhu,
sage
go.
Sri Shukdev Goswami sat perfectly pacified, intelligent and ready to answer any question without hesitation. The great devotee Maharaj Parikshit approached him, offered his respects by bowing before him, and politely inquired with sweet words and folded hands.
Hmm. So Shukdev Goswami sat perfectly pacified, intelligent, and ready to answer any question without hesitation. The great devotee Maharaj Parikshit approached him, offered his respect by bowing before him. So, which verse from Bhagavad Gita do you remember after reading this? Do you remember any verse from Bhagavad Gita? And politely inquired with sweet words and folded hands. Hmm? Do you remember any verse from Bhagavad Gita? Bhakti
I
Shastris, there are.
think that is the same as Tatpanya Doshi, where
Uh,
Arjuna inquired.
now, I will give you hint. Parikshit approached him, offered his respects by bowing before him, and politely inquired with sweet words with folded hands. So, any hint that you get from this? Okay, another hint is fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Still not clear?
I'm not able to recollect.
Sorry, Mataji.
Not able to recollect.
Okay. तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन
Oh,
सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. So what
oh,
does Bhagavad Gita
I,
434 says?
yes,
How one
yes.
should go to the spiritual master? What are the symptoms and what are the requirements to inquire from the spiritual master to get spiritual knowledge from a guru? Tad vidhi pranipatena. Tad vidhi pranipat. Pranipat means to approach. Tad vidhi pranipat. Pariprashnena. Pariprashnena sevaya. Pranipat also means to pay some obeisances, to do namaskar, humbly approach. And then pariprashnena. Pariprashnena means to inquire submissively and do some seva, offer some service to the spiritual master. So like that, at least two things are mentioned here. Approached him, offered him his respects by bowing before him, and politely inquired with sweet words and folded hands. So this is the etiquette. If a disciple wants to approach to a pure devotee of the Lord from whom he wants to inquire about some uh, some question about life, matter of life, and so on, then that is the way one should approach. So something similar is being mentioned here. Etiquette before the spiritual master. So Maharaj Parikshit, being a pure devotee of the Lord, is already aware of these etiquettes. He's approaching with a lot of humility. He's now going to ask the same two questions with the Shukdev Goswami, which he has just asked, uh, uh, which he has just asked the sages. So, like that, because these questions about life, death, about spiritual world, about Lord Krishna are very serious in nature. They These discussions are serious inquiries. So that is why uh, uh, it is being mentioned here that how one should approach such a spiritual teacher. So guru is not meant to answer our questions on what would be the in which stock market, in which stock I should invest, in which fund I should invest, where should my child get married, and all that. A guru is mainly A spiritual master is mainly related to answer the life very most important question, which is questions about life, death, spiritual world, Lord Krishna, uh, devotional service. All those subject matters are the under the purview of the inquiry of spiritual master. So these are the questions that Parikshit Maharaj is going to ask, and he is approaching Shukdev Goswami with lot of proper etiquette. So now Rakesh ji, please read the next one.
Parikshit glorifies Shukdev Goswami.
Hmm.
The fortunate king Parikshit said, O Brahmana, by your mercy only you have sanctified us, making us like unto places of pilgrimage, all by your presence here as my guest. By your mercy, we, who are but unworthy royalty, become eligible to serve the devotee.
Yeah. So he's Parikshit Maharaj humility is revealed in this verse. So Parikshit Maharaj is glorifying many people. He's glorifying the sages. He's glorifying Mother Ganges. He's glorifying Shukdev Goswami, who has just arrived here. He's glorifying his lineage, his forefathers, Yudhishthir Maharaj and other kings in his lineage. He's glorifying everyone except himself. And that is called humility. He's calling himself as unworthy royalty. Unworthy royalty. So he's actually a worthy royalty. He's a Raj Rishi. He's a pure devotee of the Lord. He's very much worthy royalty. But he's referring himself as unworthy royalty. So the specific word that is being used in the verse is uh, Shatra Bandhavaha. Shatra Bandhava. So uh, it is very similar to the word that we use in the past to describe about uh, Brahma Bandhu. So we have this word
Yeah.
called Brahma Bandhu and Dvij Bandhu. So can you explain what is meant by Dvij Bandhu and Brahma Bandhu?
Brahma Bandhu is like not real Brahmanas. They
Hmm.
do not have qualities of Brahmana, although born in the kula of
Bra-
Brahmana.
very nice,
So
Mataji. Very nice. So Brahma
similarly,
Bandhu means,
Kshatriya.
yeah, although taking birth in the family of Brahmanas, but they don't have the qualities of the Brahmanas. So that is why they are known as Brahma Bandhus. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, for whom this word has come in the past, in the previous chapters, which character was described as Brahma Bandhu?
And that was Drona's son, it was
Ashwathama. Very correct. Yes.
Ashwatthama.
So here, Parikshit Maharaj, for himself, he is mentioning as Kshatra Bandhava. Kshatra Bandhava means the relative of a Kshatriya. Hmm. Somebody who is related to a Kshatriya but doesn't have the quality of a Kshatriya. Uh, by your mercy, we who are but unworthy royalty become eligible to serve the devotee. So it is very humble on the part of Parikshit Maharaj that he is glorifying everyone else except for himself, and he's putting himself in a very humble position, and he's giving all glories to Shukdev Goswami. He's saying he's addressing Shukdev Goswami with lot of uh, elevated words. He's saying that by your mercy only you have sanctified us, making us like unto places of pilgrimage. Unto places of pilgrimage. So a very elevated welcome he offers to Shukdev Goswami. He's glorifying him by calling himself, by calling him as uh, that you have made us a place of pilgrimage. You have made this place as a place of pilgrimage. So like that, uh, he's explaining this. So here in the purport also, uh, Srila Prabhupada mentions this thing about Shatra Bandhava. Shatra Bandhava means an unworthy royalty. So Prabhupada is referring here to one instance where he's mentioning that in general, the pure devotees of the Lord don't have this desire to mix with materialistic people. Materialistic people are described by people who have desire for say mixing with the opposite sex, or maybe they have desires for a lot of material opulence. So these people are called as uh, materialists, and typically kings would be falling in this category because they have a lot of power, they have a lot of opulence, and because of that opulence, if they don't handle that opulence properly, they may actually also get attracted to the opposite sex and try to exploit all that. So the pure devotees of the Lord don't actually approach or don't go to places like uh, such people, and kings could also be considered as one such people. And Prabhupada gives one example of King Pratap Rudra. So in Jagannath Puri, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was resting in a garden, then Pratap Rudra sent a message to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he wants to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he heard that it is a king, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refused to meet King Pratap Rudra. So, although King Pratap Rudra is a pure devotee of the Lord, but this instance is mainly to understand, is mainly to explain that elevated people, elevated pure devotees, don't generally have this tendency to meet materialistic people. So in that vein, in that light, Parikshit Maharaj is also saying that I am a Shatra Bandhava. I am actually not a very proper Kshatriya, but a related, distant relative to Kshatriya. I don't have the qualities of Kshatriya. And you have very mercifully come to my place, have sanctified my place as a pilgrimage, and that's how you have really made me. You have given me a lot of honor. So he's showing his gratitude to Shukdev Goswami in this verse. Okay, now we go to the 33rd verse. So 33rd verse uh, is again a Sanskrit verse, and then we will discuss this. So can you identify the meter here?
अनुष्टुप लगता.
Anushtup. Yes, Prabhu. This is Anushtup. Very correct. Very nice. So we will recite this verse, Prabhu. Please recite together with me.
Yes.
Yesham sansmaranat pumsam
येषां संस्मरणात् पुंसां
sadyah shuddhayanti vaigraha
सद्यः शुद्धयन्ति वैग्रह.
kim punardarshanam sparsha
किं पुनर्दर्शन स्पर्शा
padashochasanadibhihi.
दशौचासनादिभिः.
Yes. So a very beautiful verse, giving you not only how Parikshit Maharaj welcomed Shukdev Goswami with choicest of words, uh, but also gives you a hint about Vedic culture. How when a pure devotee comes to your house, comes to your place, how a pure devotee of the Lord should be welcomed. So please read the translation, Prabhuji.
Simply by our remembering you, our houses become instantly sanctified. And what to speak of seeing you, touching you, washing your holy feet, and offering you a seat in our home.
Hmm. So you see here, Parishit Maharaj is feeling so grateful. He's feeling so joyful. He's feeling so much honored. You can see from the words. He's not kind of only paying lip service, just glorifying out of for the name of glorification. He's glorifying it. He's actually meaning what he's saying. Yeah. So he's saying that simply by our remembering you, yesham samsmaranat pumsam. Yesham samsmaranat pumsam. Pumsam means a person like you. Uh, uh, Yesham samsmaranat. Simply by remembering a person like you, he's saying sadhya shuddhayanti vai graha. Graha means house. Shuddhayanti means purified. Sadhya means quickly, instantly. Hmm. Like we have instant coffee, we have instant food these days. So that is the concept here. Simply by remembering you, Parikshit Maharaj is saying, our house gets instantly purified. So just imagine you are sitting in your house, you remember some pure devotee of the Lord, and your house is purified. Your house is purified. So that is the potency of a pure devotee. You remember about Prabhupada, your house is purified. You remember about your spiritual master, your house is purified. Yesham samsmranat pumsam sadyah shuddhayanti vaigraha. Simply by our remembering you, our house become instantly sanctified. Sadyah. And then, if this is the effect of simply remembering you, my dear Shukdev Goswami, if this is the effect of simply remembering you, then if I happen to get an opportunity to have a darshan of you, if I get an opportunity to have uh, touch your lotus feet or touch your body, and if I have the opportunity to bathe your lotus feet, uh, I have the opportunity to offer a seat in my home to you, then what to speak of such a benediction? So this is how Parikshit Maharaj is uh, glorifying Shukdev Goswami. So you can see here, Kim Punar Darshana. Darshana means seeing you. Sparsha means touch you. Pad Shauchana. Pad Shauch. Shauch means clean. Pad means feet. So bathing or washing your feet. And Asanadi bihi. Asan Adi. Asan Adi means offering your seat. Adi means maybe Adi could also mean offering food. Adi could also mean offering service. Adi could also mean maybe offering some glorification words, etc., etc. So, like this, Parikshit is glorifying Shukdev Goswami with the with some very choicest of words, with a lot of elevated words. So, Prabhupada ji is mentioning here that a holy place become holy because of the presence of the saints and the sages in the holy places. So, people who are of materialistic disposition, they go to the holy places. Why they do go to the holy places? Because they have committed sin, and when they go to the holy place, their sins are a little bit relieved. They drop their sins in the holy place, and because of the sages and the saints who are present in the holy place, then those sins are actually nullified, they are neutralized. So this is the effect of the presence of saints and sages in the holy place. The holy place become holy not because of any other reason, it is only because of the presence of the sages and saints in that places. So if these kind of sages appear in our house, then we should feel very, very grateful. We should feel very, very fortunate that Lord has given this opportunity. And Prabhupada also mentioned in the purport that for some reason, if we are not able to honor such a sage in such a way that has been mentioned here, then the person out of repentance should actually fast for 1 day. So Prabhupada mentions that in that purport. Okay. We go to the next one, 34th. So one more verse we will need to recite. Again, Prabhuji, exam. Which chanda is this?
Anushtup Prabhuji.
You passed the exam with flying colors. Very nice. Anushtup. So let us recite this. Sannidhyate Mahayogin
सान्निध्याते महायोगिन
Patakani Mahantyapi
पातकानि महन्ति पि
Sadyo Nashyanti Vaipumsam
सद्यो नश्यन्ति वै पुंसाम्
Vishnoriva Suretaraha.
विष्णोर इव सुरेतरः.
Yeah, again, glorification continues. Is one glorifying more. Uh, Sannidhyate Mahayogin Patakani Mahantyapi. Just as the atheist cannot remain in the presence of the personality of Godhead, so also the invulnerable sins of a man are immediately vanquished in your presence. O saint, O great mystic. Mahayogin. Mahayogin here represents, O saint, a great mystic. Sannidhyat. Sannidhyat means in proximity. So Sannidhyat means in proximity, in closeness. So Patakani Mahantyapi. Patakani. Patakani means uh, all the sins. Patakani Mahantyapi. All the sins. So uh, if a person is a sinful person and comes in contact with a elevated personality, with Supreme God, with God Himself, then the sins will not remain there. Similarly, uh, if a man of very lot of sins actually come in contact with your presence, then all the sins actually are gone away. So like this, he is once again glorifying Parikshit Maharaj. So what does it mean? What does it mean for us? Whenever we get an opportunity to associate with a pure devotee, we may not come very close to him, we may not be able to speak to him, but just by darshan of that pure devotee, just by hearing from that pure devotee, you will experience a kind of purity, you will experience a kind of elevatedness, you will experience a kind of relief in your life. So whenever there is an opportunity, we should take shelter of a pure devotee, we should take association of a pure devotee. So Prabhupada also gives one more very beautiful analogy. Say it is mentioned, it is said in the Shastras that sometimes a house is haunted by ghosts. Like Prabhupada, when he once he went to UK, and he was going to purchase a building uh, which was not purchased by anyone else. So Prabhupada inquired why this building is not being sold, why this such a nice building is being available at a very cheap price. So the people mentioned that it is haunted by ghosts. So Prabhupada said that then it is not a problem, and Prabhupada went to that house and performed kirtan for some time. And then after the kirtan was performed, the whole environment became purified, and there was a kind of a pressure in that place. Everything seemed very relieved. So the point is, like the kirtan, when you perform at a particular place, the ghosts go away. Similarly, when the pure devotee comes, then all our sins are also uh, gone away. So our ghost like sins are also gone away in the presence of the devotees and the presence of the saints. So we should regularly associate with such devotees. Only a devotee actually can appreciate the presence of such devotees. Non-devotees, materialistic people may not properly understand the advantage of such people. People like yourself who are attending this class, they have some background about devotional service, they have some taste of devotional service, they have some etiquette about devotional service, so they can appreciate. But normal ordinary people cannot. Like example is Nal Kuvar and Mani Griva. Nalkuvar and Manigreva, they were shamelessly bathing with the ladies, intoxicated with wine and so on, in the river. And when Narad Muni came there, these shameless people did not have those etiquette to cover their body or to at least apologize to Narad Muni for the act they were performing at that moment of time. Rather, uh, they were thinking that why this person has come in creating disturbance in our entertainment. So that is the nature of the materialistic people. But saintly people, devotees, even maybe junior devotees, also understand the gravity of the situation, of gravity of the fact that associating with pure devotees is really very very important. Okay, 35th Prabhu.
Krishna's affection for the Pandavas made you appear. Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is very dear to the sons of King Pandu, has accepted me as one of those relatives just to please his great cousins and brothers.
Hmm. Now you can see here, Parikshit Maharaj, as I was mentioning to you, is giving credit to everyone else except for himself. Now here you can see in 35th verse, he is giving credit to Lord Krishna, and he's giving credit to Lord Krishna, but actually he's doing the right thing, because it is only because of Lord Krishna's will this everything is going on. So he's saying that Lord Krishna, who is very dear to the sons of King Pandu, has accepted me as one of those relatives just to please his great cousins and brothers. So why you have come here, Shukdev Goswami, to my assembly? It is mainly because Lord Krishna is very very merciful. Lord Krishna was very much affectionate, always liked my forefathers like Yudhishthir Maharaj, like my mother, etc. They Lord Krishna was very much affectionate of all these people, and in order to show me his mercy, he has sent you to me. He has sent you to me. So he's again feeling very very obliged, very very grateful. uh, so like this uh, he's glorifying Parikshit, glorifying Shukdev Goswami. And Prabhupada in the purport writes that many times when a devotee takes birth in a family, hmm, when a devotee takes birth in a family, then even if the other family members of that family are not devotees, the Lord actually takes care of the family members uh, of that family. So even if that devotee, who is the devotee in that family, leaves that family, takes renunciation, takes vanprasthashram or whatever, leaves that family, even after that, the Lord takes care of that family, just because the devotee, the relatives in that family were connected or were related to that devotee. So Prabhupada is uh, glorifying the presence of a devotee in the family. Although Parikshit Maharaj is not a non-devotee, he is actually a devotee, but he's calling himself that uh, just because I am connected to those people, my forefathers, my grandfathers, who were really great devotee of Lord Krishna, Lord Krishna is now taking mercy upon me, taking pity upon me, and he's showing his mercy by sending such exalted saintly devotees to me to elevate me. So that is 35. 36, Prabhuji. Rakesh Prabhu, 36th verse. Prabhuji, you are muted.
एक मिनट प्रभु जी, ये थोड़ा सा
Hmm.
स्मॉल हो गया एकदम। अरे क्या, इसको एनलार्ज कर लूँ।
Ji. Can you read, Prabhu?
प्रभु जी अभी दिखाई नहीं दे रहा, मैं एक मिनट।
Okay, maybe for this verse, maybe we can
1 minute.
request Vrindavaneshwari
Yes,
Mataji. Can you read 36?
yes,
Meanwhile, Rakesh
yes,
Prabhu will resolve the issue.
yes. Otherwise, without being inspired by Lord Krishna, how is it that you have voluntarily appeared here,
Hmm.
though you are moving incognito to the common man and are not visible to us who are on the verge of death?
Hmm. Yeah. So here, Parikshit Maharaj is giving reason that you are generally not visible to people. You are kind of moving incognito. Incognito means agyatvaas. You are not somebody who would make public appearance every now and then. You are a devotee of the Lord. You remain in your own world, in the sense that you are not out in the among in between the common people. How is it possible that you have appeared all of a sudden when I want to understand these two questions? It is only because of the will of the Lord. Otherwise, without being inspired by Lord Krishna, how is it that you have voluntarily appeared here? As we are discussing, as we have been discussing in the previous class, it is actually the will of the Lord. This whole thing is being orchestrated, and you can see all of a sudden appearance of Shukdev Goswami in that assembly to answer Parikshit Maharaj's question is nothing but the sweet will of the Lord that is manifesting through the presence of Shukdev Goswami. So, Prabhupada writes in the purport that the Lord is situated in our heart, and when the Lord recognizes that the living entity is sincerely seeking to understand me, seeking to come close to me, then the Lord somehow or the other makes an arrangement to connect that person with the pure devotee of the Lord, so that he get the message of the Lord, he get the facility to advance in the devotional service, and so on. But even after that connection happens, the responsibility or the onus lies on that person to progress in that field. So it is not that simply by connection a person will advance, but if that person continues to have that desire to come closer to the Lord, then he can come closer to the Lord. The arrangement is made by the Lord if you sincerely so desire. So like that. Okay. Rakesh Prabhu, are you ready now?
Yes, प्रभु जी।
Okay, 37th.
Questions asked by Parikshit Maharaj.
Hmm.
You are the spiritual master of great saints and devotees. I am therefore begging you to show the way of perfection for all persons, and especially for one who is about to die.
Now you can see the same question, same two questions have been repeated here. What were the same two questions? Rakesh ji, do you remember? What were the two questions? Parikshit Maharaj asked the sages, and now repeating here to Shukdev Goswami, there were two questions. So first question was, what is that one should do in all circumstances? Hmm? What is the unalloyed duty of someone or for all in all circumstances? That was the question number one. Then the question number two was specifically for those people who are about to die. Please answer those two questions. So same two questions are now being asked by Parishit Maharaj to Shukdev Goswami. So here it is mentioned, you are the spiritual master of great saints. So does it remind you of any verse in Bhagavatam? Is spiritual master of great saints? Guru Muninam, like we studied in chapter 2 of Canto 1 of this canto, the third verse, Yaswanubhavam Akhila Shruti Saramekam, Adhyatma Deepam Atiti Tirshitam Tamovandam, Sansarinam Karunayaha Purana Gunyam, Tam Vyasa Sunum Upayami, Gurum Muninam. So Shukdev Goswami is now going to become the speaker in this assembly, and this is speaker who is present there, his own guru. Vyasdev will be present there. His guru's guru, Narad Muni, will also be present there, and many other munis will be present there. So that is why Shukdev Goswami has been referred to as Guru Muni Nam. So he is the guru of not ordinary people. Actually, he is the guru of munis. He's the he's an expert, super subject matter expert. He's the expert of experts. So some people learn from the experts, but experts learn from whom? They learn from experts of the experts. So that is what the status of Shukdev Goswami here in the assembly is being described. Okay, move to the 38th one. Again, now here we are going to recite a verse here. So question to Rakesh ji, which verse is this? Which chanda is this?
Anushtup hai, Prabhu.
Anushtup Prabhu. Prabhu have now become expert. He's not going to forget Anushtup and Trishtup at least. Okay, so please recite together with me, Prabhuji. Yachrotavyam matho japyam
Yachrotavyam atho japyam
yat kartavyam rabhi prabho
yat kartavyam nirabhi prabho
smartavyam bhajaniyam va
smartavyam bhajani yamba
bruhi yadva viparyayam.
bruhi yadva vipar yayam.
Very nice. Okay, please read the translation, Prabhuji.
Please let me know what a man should hear, chant, remember, and worship, and also what he should not do. Please explain all this to me.
So he is now elaborating on this question. He asked two questions: unalloyed duty of someone, unalloyed duty of all at all times, and specifically for that person who is about to die. And now he's elaborating what that person should do. That the person who is about to die, what he should hear, what he should chant, what he should remember, worship, uh, and what he should not do. Please explain all this to me. So these questions, unalloyed duty of someone or all at all times, and specifically for that person who is about to die, is it relevant to us or not? Rakesh ji, what do you say? Is it relevant to us? Are these questions relevant to us, Prabhuji?
And could not hear Pony. I was
Yeah,
engaged
okay.
somewhere.
Yeah, what I'm asking is that Parikshit Maharaj asked two questions to Shukdev Goswami and the sages. So you remember those questions, Prabhu? Cannot hear. Okay, we will ask Vrindavaneshwari Mataji or maybe other. Vrindavaneshwari Mataji, are these questions relevant to us?
Definitely, they are relevant to us.
So why this question that who is about to die is relevant to us? Parikshit Maharaj was told that he is going to die in 7 days. But
Yeah.
nobody has told us that we are going to die in 7 days. So is it relevant to us, Mataji?
But how can we make sure that we are not going to die
Hmm.
the next minute?
Yeah. So anyway, everyone is going to die. Maybe 7 days, 70
Yeah,
days,
yeah,
700 days.
yeah.
Ah,
What if
so,
earthquake come just now?
hmm.
This
So
wall
Parikshit Maharaj
falls
was
over me.
actually, yeah, Parikshit Maharaj was actually fortunate that he knew when he is going to die. We don't know when we are going to die.
Yes, yes.
So the idea is, Mataji, that the questions are very much relevant to us also, because anyway we are also going to die one day. So if we work upon these questions, if we kind of uh, uh, understand that the answer, what the answer of this question, then we can also kind of be benefited with this knowledge, isn't it? So Parikshit Maharaj is asking that, tell me in detail what this person should hear, chant, remember, worship, and what he should not do. Please explain all this to me. Okay, now 39th. Rakesh ji, can you read this?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Rare to have association of Shukdev Goswami.
Hmm.
O powerful Brahman, it is said that you hardly stay in the houses of men long enough to milk a cow.
Yeah. So here, uh, Parikshit Maharaj is kind of referring to Shukdev Goswami that, my dear sir, you are such an exalted personality, you are such a elevated personality that you don't give much time to people. You go to people, you go to householders place and stay only maybe for 5-10 minutes, because that much is the time that people can milk a cow. So you remain there only to that much time, and it is not because you want to drink milk from that place, you are greedy about that milk. No, you go to these householders because you want to give them some spiritual knowledge, you want to benefit them. So in the pretext of taking some milk from them so that you can take care of your bodily health, you go there and stay there only for that much time that a cow could be milked, and you stay there only to give them some spiritual knowledge. So you are not a ordinary person, you don't give time, a lot of time, to people. So I am so much excited, I am so much feeling fortunate. So please take as much as time you want to answer these questions. You are, I know you are not a, you are not a person whose appointment I can get for a long time. So please kind of answer these two questions to me. You kindly take a lot of time and I don't worry about it. So the purport, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions that normally these saintly people, they go to the household places to get some milk, and they would only drink maybe 1 liter of milk in a day to keep their body healthy. They don't eat anything else. So that is why they go to these household people at the time when they are milking the cow. They take some milk because these householders in the old times will have 10-12 cows. So with one cow, they can get easily 10-20 liters of milk. So with 10 cows, it could easily be 100-200 liters of milk. So with you have 100-200 liters of milk in your household, you can easily give 1 liter of milk to a saint who has come to your doorsteps. And this saint can take care of the body by drinking 1 liter of milk only, no need to cook food. And by but in the return, that saint gives these people spiritual knowledge, encourage them in spiritual knowledge. Like that, they deal with the normal people. So Parikshit Maharaj is saying that you are not, your time is not cheap, you are very costly person in terms of time, you don't give much time to people. So please answer these two questions with in great detail, and kindly don't worry about time, you have lot of time, please. Yeah. So like that he is requesting him. Okay, last question. No, last verse.
Conclusion by Sud Goswami. Sri Sud Goswami said, the king thus spoke and questioned the sage, using sweet language. Then the great and powerful personality, the son of Vyasdev, who knew the principles of religion, began his reply.
Yeah, now the first canto is coming to a culmination. So the last verse is being spoken in this first canto is by Sut Goswami. He's concluding it. He's saying that the king thus spoke and questioned the sage using very sweet language. So the Parikshit Maharaj was very sweet in asking all this. And then the great and powerful personality, the son of Vyasdev, who knew the principle of religion, began his reply. So the scene for Srimad Bhagavatam has been set in the first canto. So right beginning from the first chapter to the 19th chapter, you can see how all the events in Srimad Bhagavatam has been narrated till now. That now the question has been asked by Parikshit Maharaj to Shukdev Goswami, and the scene has been set. So the Bhagavatam narration by Shukdev Goswami will start in canto number 2. In canto number 2. Now here you can see how the pure devotee of the Lord, Parikshit Maharaj, whose name is Vishnu Rat. Vishnu Rat means who is protected by the Lord. So at one point of time, at the time of his birth, he was protected by the Lord by the Brahmastra, which was hurled by Ashwatthama. One Brahmana put sent Brahmastra to kill Parikshit Maharaj, and the Lord protected him. But here another Brahmana had now sent one curse to Parikshit Maharaj, but it seems appear to be that the Lord is not protecting him; he's letting him to die. But actually, that is not the case. Uh, we have to see the protection of the Lord in the right perspective. Here, the Lord is making an arrangement for Parikshit Maharaj to come back to him. So he is still protecting Parikshit Maharaj by making arrangements that Parikshit Maharaj will hear Srimad Bhagavatam from his pure devotee Shukdev Goswami and will return back to him. So at the time of his birth, Lord protected him, and at time of his death also the Lord is protecting Parikshit Maharaj. So like this, the first canto concludes. I hope you enjoyed the first canto. Uh, so any questions, any remarks you may have, we can discuss them now. So thank you very much. All glories to Srimad Bhagavatam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Any comments, any takeaway points, we can discuss now. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Ishwar Prabhuji. Yes.
It has been a wonderful close to a beautiful part of Bhagavatam Canto 1. Seems to be a very important milestone that we have covered, and I can't really know how much I have benefited, but mentally I do feel that things are really looking up for me
Looking up.
personally, and not only me, my wife and others friends who often come in contact with. So it's a matter of meeting, and invariably the topic comes,
Yeah.
at least
Yeah.
on weekends. So
Okay.
it's a beautiful experience, and hopefully it will grow. So I'm grateful. Your class are always great. We always look forward to this Sunday evening. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Ishwar Prabhuji, for those encouraging words. Now, we also need some support in the sense of encouraging words like that you have spoken, so that we also kind of feel motivated to read, prepare, and deliver these classes.
Yes, yes.
Certainly for me, it has been a very purifying experience, very learning experience. I've really benefited myself as well. So thank you very much for being here. You might think that as students you may be not contributing much, but I may say that you contribute a lot by being present. You make sure that these classes are going on. By asking questions, you benefit not only yourself but also benefit the others also. And certainly this is some small association we are trying to create just to purify each other. So I really feel very grateful that you are coming and also giving me opportunity to deep dive into the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Sure, Prabhuji. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful beginning, and would like to replicate as the time passes.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. I also see Krishna Sevini Mataji joining us. Mataji, I think you are joining for the first time. Can you give a little introduction? Do we know you? Have we met before?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I'm new to this session.
Huh?
I got the link from Mangala Mahalakshmi Mataji.
Okay, okay, okay.
So
Mahalakshmi Mataji. Okay,
yes,
okay. So you are based in Bangalore, I would expect.
yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So a very warm welcome, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
You
Hare
seem to be
Krishna.
already initiated, I hope and guess, from Jayapataka Maharaj.
Yes, Prabhu. Just last year October I got it.
Okay, congratulations. Okay,
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
thank you, Mataji. Okay. Okay, any questions any devotee will have or any discussion points? Okay, if you don't have any questions, then we close the session, we wrap up the session. So next session we will try to sum up the whole first canto, maybe in 1 hour or maybe in 1 hour 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it might take. Probably will not elaborate too much, but try to put every chapter in connection with each other, so that the 50 classes that we have taken to give you an understanding of canto number 1, when it is narrated to you in a short span of time, maybe 1 hour, 1.5 hour, the linkage between the chapters, the connection between the chapters become much more evident. And then after that class we will wrap up our first canto, and then we will go to preparing some quizzes to kind of further further cement or further solidify our understanding of the first canto. I hope uh, uh, you support that way forward.
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes, definitely, Prabhu.
Okay, so
Yeah,
thank you very much, thank you everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dhanyavad.
Dandavats Mataji.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you,
Dhanavad
thank
Pranam.
you.
Thank you
Dandavats.
for your
Thank you.
nice class.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.